In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Bronny James and what he is doing better right now that is allowing him to score in this game that I'm breaking down, 17 points at the NBA level. And then, just recently, I think last night, he just had a 39-point game in the D-League, or G-League now. So, let's get down, let's check him out and see what he's doing differently that you can do so that you can improve just like Bronny James. Really quickly, if you want to be able to shoot the ball from further away like Bronny, make sure to go check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below. Okay, so when he attacks right here, there's one thing that he does in the paint that allowed him to get that basket. So when he attacks this basket, watch what he does. He's able to get his shoulder low. Now, the one thing that I would personally correct over what he is doing is he takes kind of a long trail out just to get to that rim, when in reality, he should have taken a little bit more of a direct route. That would have cut down on at least one dribble, a couple of steps, but it would have been a lot faster and he would have had a little bit better position on his defender than he did right here. Now, once he gets to that rim right here, he takes that pound dribble and he tries to get into that defender. Now, when he's getting into this defender right here, if he was to take more of a direct route, his shoulder would have been in the chest instead of in the shoulder of that defender. Being in the trailing shoulder of the defender means that you were not aiming right and you were not fast enough to be able to get to your spot that you needed to be at. You're still going to be effective, but it's a lot better if you hit the chest of the defender, because then he's going to be able to get more of a gap between himself and that defender. He's still able to land on 2 feet. He's still able to be balanced. He's still able to create a little bit of a gap as he did right there. But he would have been a lot better if he was to hit the chest. And then he went up for that little bit of a floater and he was able to make it. Now, anytime you're in a fast break and you get that ball in the corner, you have one of 2 options available to you. So when he receives this pass right here, if his chest is facing this way, that needs to be a drive. If he was to be facing more of the basket, catching it onto his side and squaring up faster, he could have been able to pull that 3 being wide open, and depending on your coach, they would prefer a corner 3 than a contested layup on a fast break, depending on your coach and depending on who you are as a player. So don't always take that word as advice. He is then able to attack that rim with 1 dribble and goes up for that floater with a rebounder, so still a good shot. Now right here, he gets a screen and he's actually being really patient. So right here, he has a player who's shading him, stopping him from going to that right side. So he dribbles back to his left so that he can set him up as if he was about to use this screen here. That backs up that defender, which then allows him to be able to take that right side screen, and then he was able to pull because he was able to cut in early on that screen because his man went over top of that screen, which means that he was able to get himself an open 3-point shot. One thing that will always do you really good as a guard or as a player in general, after you get that offense or that defensive rebound right here, he's already looking down court. This is what makes players or coaches want certain players. If you are a player who gets that rebound, even if you do dribble once or twice, it's okay sometimes, but taking that 1 dribble and then pushing it down court to his teammate who was further down court, being able to push the pace and push that ball down court is going to allow you to be one of the better players on your team because your coach is going to want you on the floor. Now, this play right here is actually really smart. Now, this is obviously a wrinkle that would have been put into the offense, the screen here for Bronny. Bronny comes to that after that screen, receives that ball. Now, this is something that he either read the defense, which makes him pretty smart, or it's a wrinkle that they put in the offense. So I might be giving him more credit than what it's worth. However, right here, he was able to slip that dribble handoff because his man fell asleep. This guy was sticking to Len, and this guy was sticking over here. That leaves that whole lane open, and this guy can't help because then the pass goes out to the corner 3. So this whole lane is wide open. This allows him to be able to get to that rim with very few amount of dribbles, and he's able to then score. But there's 2 things that I really want to break down in this one that you need to be able to do yourself. He hits his man early, right there. That was the early hit. Next, that creates separation. This gives you the lane to the basket. However, he still has a defender who is breathing down his neck, and he also has this guy who is still obviously with him. He then uses his inside hand finish. Why does he do that? A lot of coaches tell you have to use your right hand every single time. Right hand, right hand, right hand. But if he was to use his right hand here, this would have been a 100% block. By using his inside hand, he is using his body to shield the ball from that defender. So by shielding that ball from the defender, he is going to be able to get himself the layup without getting blocked, as we can see right here. Now here he gets the kick out pass, and when he gets this kick out pass, he gets that screen set early. Now he's actually pretty smart. They switch on this. So after he gets that switch, the drop defender is not high enough to be able to guard the three-point shot. Bronny James is going to his left side, and he's a right-handed shooter, as we can see right here. So by going towards your left side, you can pull for a shot much faster. So because your right side is in line. So he's able to go up for that shot, and he has the space. This is basically hands down, man down, no defense at all, because he has so much gap between himself and the defender. So this shot was essentially a wide open shot, and he was able to hit it, and you have to be able to take those shots. You cannot be scared to take those. I hope that these tips help you become a better basketball player. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in my next video.